Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about quad box for March 2020. Now, I know it is May, but this is the March box. I may not be the first to the party, but I will be the most thorough. Want to check out what's inside? You're going to have to stick around. Alright guys, March box, quad box 2020 coming at you. So why is it late? Very simple. There's some sort of problem with my credit card. I thought there was just a normal delay. Contacted the folks over there and they're like, oh, we tried billing your credit card, it didn't go through. Oh, okay, fine, cool, here's my new credit card, bingity bangity boom, they ship stuff out. Obviously, with all this COVID stuff going on right now, it's sort of like a lot's been going on. I mean, I do live in Bergen County in New Jersey, where we're like, us and New York City area is like the epicenter. So it's just a little bit crazy here right now. So with that being said, let's just dig on in. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to bring you all in close. We're going to do a little bit of unboxing. I'm going to show you what's in this box, give you my genuine reactions. Then we're going to do a cost analysis to see really what's in this box, what's it worth compared to how much you paid, and all that fun stuff. But before we do any of that, slam that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell icon. Makes finding my videos a whole heck of a lot easier, helps support the channel, and it keeps you in the know when I post videos such as this one. So it's like win-win for everybody, all right? So without any further ado, why don't you come on in and let's crack it open. All right, guys, we got our quad box. We're all set up, but before we get opening, I'm gonna be donning some gloves here real fast. As you know, with the COVID action, it can live on surfaces, and this is a sealed container. It is made of cardboard, but inside, who knows? So therefore, I like to just put on some gloves just in case. Not really that I'm worried about it protecting me. It's just more of a reminder to wash my hands and not touch my face while I'm doing this. So let's get digging here. So we do a flip. We find that opening. We cut the tape. There we go. We give it a little flipperoo back around, get everything lined up, open up that top flap. Are you ready? I'm ready. I haven't opened one of these in a while and I'm dying, so let's get in it. Wow. All right, so I see some paperwork here. I'm just gonna take that out of the way so I don't get anything like a spoiler alert or anything along those realms. There are some other paperworks here. Let's move those out of the way. So first up, let's go in for the sticker sheet. Looks like we got two sticker sheets. We got some Bardwell action going on here. Who doesn't like a nice Bardwell face? I mean, come on. And some stickers for that whole protest thing that went on. That is some very cool stuff. Next up, we got some HQ props, it looks like. We got 3 packs of those. And these look to be, where's the tag on these guys? Face them all the same way here. Make sure they're all the same first. They're their model R42. So I am going to have to look those up just to see what they are. And I'll tell you when I do my cost analysis. But here's your tag in case you want to see it for yourself. But when I do the cost analysis, I'll give you the actual dimensions and pitch and all that fun stuff. Looks like we also got a little pack of airheads. It's a 4 propped one. These are 51 456 by 4s. But here's your tag on those too if you want to check those out. Next up, we have a run cam. That's pretty sweet. It is the Micro Swift 3 V2, and here's your informations on that if you'd like to check it out for yourself. Very cool. Can always use a good camera like that, and a nice t-shirt Check that out. That is making me very happy. Let's give that a little open upperoo here. All right, check this out, guys. Basically, it's a little too big to fit all of it in frame, but I'm sure you get the idea here. It's a repeat of the sticker sheet. You can check it out here. It promotes our hobby. It promotes saving the hobby. It promotes it in being a very patriotic way too, showing, you know, it's just about, you know, our rights as Americans and stuff in this country with the red, white, and blue and the stars and stuff. It's just a well-designed logo, very clear-cut and to the point about saving our hobby, because if things go the way they're going to go, it's not looking too great. But enough about that. Let's move on, because I did see one other thing hiding on the bottom there. I think that's it. Yeah. So these are some little Rotor Riot skid plates. I got these a long time ago. I don't remember which month it was, but I got these little Rotor Riot skid plates. The ones I received were like a purpley pink color, so it is cool now to have them in a set of black as well. So we have some Rotor Riot skid plates. We have the Support Our Hobby t-shirt. We have the stickers that are on top. We have the props, one set of airheads, 3 sets of HQ props, and that oh, that was it, and a run cam. That seems like a lot of stuff in here, but let's run some numbers and make sure that this cost checks out. All right, guys, I know you want that delicious cost analysis that you've come to know and love from this channel, and here you go. So let's talk about this line by line, and we'll go through them and give you my thoughts. First up, we have the HQ props. They're their R42s. This is basically their racing line of props. They're 5142s, and we got 3 packs of them, so that is always a welcomed addition. We also got that bonus pack of those airhead props that we've gotten in the previous box. You know, we've got them in the past. They probably had some leftovers laying around, so they just kind of sprinkled them out. Kind of interesting. They're a 4 prop. Usually we're used to the 3 prop, and they're a 51/455 prop. So they're 5.1 inches with a 455 pitch. So one thing I do enjoy is I do enjoy getting extra props. I've said it before, I'll say it again. When you crash, you bend them, you break them, you chip them. Don't be cheap. Don't say good enough. Just put a new set on. And what's also nice is that one of my complaints when we got the airhead props originally was that it was 3 packs, but each one was a different one. So you got one set of 4, you put them on. If you had a crash, an accident, you chip them, bend them, break them, you have to take the whole set back off because you don't have any replacements unless you went and purchased them. But why would you purchase them if you're not sure if you like them? So I didn't really try them out, but now that I have a second set of these airheads, now I'm more willing to give them a shot, because now I have a replacement after I crash. I really feel like 3 packs is a good number for props to really evaluate if you like them based on, you know, crashing and flight habits and all that fun stuff. Next, we have that shirt, and that shirt is crisp, it is sharp, it is wonderful, it supports our hobby, it talks about the protest, it talks about, you know, the current situation that our hobby is in, and it's just a really awesome shirt to wear. And, you know, when I go around my house, because I'm not going anywhere because of COVID, but when I walk around my house, I will be rocking that shirt. And when eventually I do venture out into the wild unknown, I will be wearing that shirt as well. We got those Rotor Riot skids, and I kind of looked back in my database, and it was from like, I think 2018. So it's been quite some time since we got them, and many of you probably weren't a subscriber back then. Maybe some of you are. If you were a subscriber back then, comment down below, let me know. And, you know, so they're pretty cool. It's always nice to have a little bit of skid plates. It helps protect your carbon fiber from getting kind of chipped up, banged up, and frayed. Also keeps your screw heads, your motor mount screws, from just getting beat up, because, you know, if you fly on a lot of, it doesn't really matter if you're on like dirt and stuff, but if you're doing a lot of like asphalt or concrete area flying, just the act of landing can really scuff up and scratch the bottom of your stuff, and over time you can kind of wear the heads off of your motor screws, and this kind of protects those as well as your frame. So they're really, you know, even though they're kind of overlooked, it's still a cool thing to have. And lastly, we got that Run Cam Micro Swift 3 V2. That's a whole mouthful, but it is a welcomed addition. Love Runcam as a brand in general. They're sort of like my go-to brand when it comes to cameras. Though I do like, you know, some of the other ones out there. I found unless you have like a really rock solid frame that really offers a lot of camera protection, your camera is one of the more vulnerable components on your setup. And granted, most likely it's going to be your lens that breaks, but to go through the process of getting another lens, changing the lens, focusing the lens, you know, by the time you did all of that, it might be easier just to throw another camera in there, especially if you're doing like a field repair. You can unplug one, plug another one in, remount it, you're good to go. So that is always a cool thing. Now, let's look at the bottom here and let's look at that total value over the cost of the box. And right now we're coming in around $22, which is a perfect amount of value. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're new around the channel, I'll give you a little gist of it. These are mystery boxes. You sacrifice choice for what you want to buy with the hopes of getting value. That's the whole concept behind a mystery box. I also like it because it's cool to get like a surprise, like you don't know what you're going to be getting. That being said, in my mind, I feel like $20 should be like the baseline value that I'm saying, you know, as long as I get $20 of value, I'm okay sacrificing my choice. So even if I get things I may not necessarily want, the fact that I'm getting $20 over the cost of the box, I'm like, okay, that's still cool and good by me. If it's under $20, then I start being like, yeah, you know, that kind of really wasn't worth it, and I kind of start feeling gypped out. If it's over $20, I'm like, bonus, this is an awesome box. So right around $22, we're definitely above that $20 threshold. There were a couple dollars to spare, so, you know, that's kind of a cool thing. So really happy with this box. Now, being that this is the second of the two boxes, because we do have FPV Crate and we do have Quad Box, and it is the second of the two boxes because March box for FPV Crate we've already done. If you missed that video, you can check the link up in the corner there. But when the second box comes in, we always like to do a little bit of a comparison, so here you go. So if you're new around here, let me give you a little tour. Basically what we're doing here is we're comparing FPV Crate and Quad Box, and we're starting the timer at when FPV Crate launched, which was in July of 2019. So previous data I've put in previous videos. If you notice, it used to be down underneath here, kind of grayed out, but I've now removed that just for the sake of, you know, making things a little less confusing. But if you would like to see how Quad Box compared to like Drone Drop through the history since I've been a subscriber in February of 2018, you can check, you know, some of my older videos and that data will be in them. However, moving forward now, we're just going to focus in on FPV Crate and Quad Box. So that first column is what happened in July to December of 2019, and it won't be ever changing because that's 2019. The second column is what's going on right now in 2020, from January 2020 till present. And one thing I will note is that if you see underneath there, February, Quad Box opted to just not do a box. They didn't charge us for a box and they didn't send out a box for the simple fact of the COVID-19 being an issue for, you know, supply chain, getting things and getting the product out to us. So to avoid delays and everything, they just opted to not even send a box. And that third column is the total basically from July 2019 till current day. And then I've also added another column. This is brand new for this video and I'll continue doing this. And it basically is just sort of showing the average value per box. Now, does it mean that this is what you can expect to come in every box? It just means that I'm taking the total and dividing it by how many boxes we've had during that time. And the reason why I did that is because I sort of felt it a little bit unfair that Quad Box is basically now one box behind, because February they didn't put out a box. FPV Crate did put out a box. So this is more of a average cost analysis per box that's a true representation of how many boxes they've sent out. So even though FPV Crate might be a little bit more ahead in value, they also had one extra box that Quad Box didn't send out. So I figured this is also just a good metric to look at as far as just average cost per box. The green on there, that's basically who's winning that column, just to make it easy at a glance to see who's in the lead. So you can see in 2019, Quad Box was the leader in value. In 2020, you can see currently FPV Crate is in the lead as far as value that is provided. Now, total wise, you know, Quadbox is still inching them out just a little smidge ahead of FPV Crate, but they still are tightly holding that lead, but very, very slimly. So the next month could, cause things to go askew. However, the thing that's really most important, I think, is just the average value per box. Now, granted, some boxes are way better than others. Like, for example, if they throw motors in there, that's usually a much more higher ticket box. Sometimes there's a special promotional box, and that'll help up the averages. But overall, since July till now, you can see Quadbox is currently, on average, providing more value per box. Remember, I'm not saying that's what will be in boxes. That's just on average the value we have got per box. That's a very important thing to keep in mind. So this is a very interesting look at these things because it's really, in my mind, showing that Quadbox is still providing awesome value. They basically said, hey, we're not even going to attempt on February because it is just too hard right now, because back in February, that's when stuff was blowing up in China, and it was just to try to do anything manufacturing and supply chain related was, it's still hard. It's absolutely still hard, but that was when it was really focused in China. Now it's over here, and we got the problems, and pretty much globally, everyone's got the problems. I'm not, don't get me wrong. I don't want to get into all that. The bottom line is they just took a step back and said, rather than making everything be a delay, we're going to take a step back. And even with that, they're still kind of in the lead for the most part on average compared to FPV Crate. So what's going to be really interesting is when we get to April, because, well, quite frankly, I already have the April boxes, so those videos will be coming out pretty much near immediately after this one. But it'll be very interesting now to compare the two for April and see what is going on, who's going to start to edge out, because once we get a couple more boxes under our belt when we're, going in the races here, we'll see really who's going to be providing the most value. And that is what's really important, is your dollar, especially in these times. You may not have that disposable income that you may be able to afford some of these things. So you really need to look at just the value for your dollar if you're going to be, subscribing to any of these at all. And that's what's important to me. All right. So as always, my name's Tronage. Fly strong.